everybody, it's Brad here at Select Roses. We always get a lot of requests about how to prune and train ramblers and climbing roses and things like that. So we're going to do one last attempt to prune some of our favorite ramblers of all time. The one that you're looking at here is a Cordes variety called Moonlight. It's a beautiful yellow with a bit of a scarlet edge. And a couple things I wanted to show you. It's actually growing in a really poor spot. Despite that, the plant is going up, spreading out over the top of the arbor. And what we do on these climbers is we train them over like this, and you can see how the laterals shoot up. This is sort of the main cane here, and we'll go along and deadhead all of last year's blooms off the best we can. If we felt that the rose was getting too out of hand, you could cut these laterals way down like this, very short like that. You'll still get plenty of bloom because there's dormant eyes in there that are going to end up branching out, and those will become your roses. If you didn't want it weeping over like this and you had another support, you could train the cane in that way. But we like it looking rather lax. The whole idea is that it hangs over like this. We will be reaching in here, lower down where there's not going to be any sun, and I will be cleaning out those canes all together. So it's going to be a little bare at the base, but the whole idea is we want the plant to be able to breathe. Now if you follow me down here, you'll see one of our favorite ramblers. This is American Pillar. A couple years ago, this entire plant collapsed in the winter, and Nancy and I pruned out about 50% of the plant. We tied it back up, and it gave us a sensational bloom the first year. It blooms for about 4 weeks, nothing after that, but when it blooms, it pays its rent. I want you to come through to the other side of the plant. We'll show you the base of it, and we'll also show you the new growth we started. So look down here. Nancy will focus our camera right down to the base here. You can see the old part of the plant where it started. This was an own root one, big, thick, old stems. And even from this wood, it's still going to produce some fresh young shoots that come up over the top. My dad gave us another part of an arbor here, and all of this growth you see came last year. So these are last year's big long stems, and this is where they're going to bloom. All along here is going to be a bloom truss. This will be in full bloom by about June. So if you have a chance, come out and see us in June, and you'll see American Pillar in full bloom. Hey everybody, we're back here talking about the climbing and rambling rose we just pruned. The one thing I want to tell you is the difference between a climber and a rambler. People get confused about it. The ramblers came first. This is American Pillar Rambler. So the difference is the vast majority of all rambling roses have very lax growth like you see here. They bloom once on last year's wood. So you get 2, 3, 4, this one about 5 weeks of bloom. And when they bloom, it is thousands. They definitely pay their rent. The middle plant is the one we pruned of the Cordes Moonlight Rose, and we've allowed some of the American Pillar Rambler to actually mix in with it. We like that. We think it looks pretty. There is a few seed hips that were so high up I didn't get to. We don't even worry about it because the new growth will completely cover it. The whole idea with your Rambler, though, if you can, is to let the shoots fall over or train them over any kind of an arbor. When you do that, you get a lot more bloom. You'll increase the bloom on any of your climbing type roses by at least 50% just by training over those main shoots, and then you'll see the laterals that'll come up. So let's take a look at this one shoot cascading down here. This shoot was born last year, and you can look at these little clusters coming up. Each one of these is going to be a bouquet of beautiful hot pink roses. They will be wonderful for about 5 weeks. Then they'll shed their petals off everywhere. The plant will be covered in nice shiny foliage after that. That was American Pillar. We absolutely love it. We don't have any to sell you this year, but we'll start some cuttings for next year. And we love the ramblers and climbing roses. You have to find a spot for one in your garden. Thanks for listening again, and that was Brad from Select Roses. We're open every day, other than Monday from 10 to 5 to the end of the season, which is about mid-July this year.